on Thursday and one on Wednesday. Walked into the store in my jacket on, I was coming back from the bank, nothing to identify me as the owner of a restaurant or even that I worked there. Walked in, was a woman and I coming to the door at the same time. She was closer to the door and she said hello, I said hello back to her, and she actually held the door for me just with the way it worked. It was very pleasant, it was very nice. She was applying for a job. Okay? Next day, I was walking, roles were reversed, I was closer to the door than this other person. I said hello, they didn't say a word to me, totally ignored me. I held the door for them. They didn't say thank you and walked in. Both people were looking for work. I actually hired the one that was nice because she didn't know who I was. It was a perfect beginning to an interview. We hadn't even interviewed. She hadn't even told me she was looking for work. I didn't even know. They could have both been customers. Turns out they were both looking for work. And the person who was friendly right off the bat, for no good reason, she wasn't putting on a show. That's just what she was. And I wanted that. When I hire people, I have two criteria that I can't train on: friendliness and work ethic. I can't teach those things. That's it. That's my interview. Do you have work ethic? And obviously people have to show me this. I asked the question, but I don't believe them whether they say yes or no. They have to show it to me. Do you have work ethic? Because you learned that a long time ago from your parents, yourself, your friends, family. And do you have, are you friendly? Can you be friendly with the people you work with and my customers? That's it. I don't care if you can cook. I don't care if you can. I don't care if you can add. But all that stuff we can teach you. We can teach you how to make a pizza. We can teach you how to answer the phone. All that stuff. I can't teach you how to have a work ethic and how to give and be friendly with the people that you work with. But we've really covered a lot of it. We covered pretty much everything. Do you guys have any specific questions for me that you want to ask? If you want, we can go on Facebook later. I'll show you the start page.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I like your comment that you mentioned, and this is more when you guys are about 3 or 4 years from now, when you're 26 or 25 or whatever you are, and you're out, be able to go out and socialize legally. All right, you said something about Googling the area that you're at. Let's say you move to Columbus, a booming city. All right, let's say you live in, Dublin. My buddy lives in Dublin, a suburb of Columbus. You go down there and you Google Dublin, Chamber of Commerce he mentioned. Any kind of professional groups that are meeting for whatever reason, kite flyers, I don't know, okay? And you go out and you socialize with people like that have the same interests as you. Not now, not at 18 and 19. You do that when you're 24 and 25 years old. I thought that was an excellent point that you brought up there, because like, when you talk about, if you work at a pizza place, you're a professional pizza person. If you work at an ice cream shop, you're a professional ice cream person. Go to those kind of functions. Go to their association meetings. Okay? I think that was a really good point you brought up there.
And I know some of these things I brought up are things you guys are going to do down the line, but one, the sooner the better. But more importantly, it's good just to have this information in the back of your head. I can't tell you, I mean, literally just yesterday, the Secretary of the Chamber of Commerce and I were talking about how to attract more young professionals into our organization. And we were talking about the fact that this stuff isn't talked about. People don't know. I mean, some people know because obviously we have 300 members in our chamber, but there's also 2,800 businesses in our footprint. We can have that many more businesses be a member of our chamber. I'm not trying to sell you on my chamber. My point is that there are all these organizations that people don't know about what they can do, and it's not about getting them to join. It's about, like I said, that woman yesterday. She still sticks out of my head. She's still going to school. She's probably younger. She's probably like 22. She's still in school, but she's got an advantage over everyone else because everyone was interested to find out why she was there. People were coming up and talking to her. She wasn't going out and trying to meet, oh, can you hire me, can you hire me, can you hire me? People thought it was so novel that they were approaching her. And you talk about association groups, that's huge as well. Yeah. That's just because you never know. I mean, talk to people who get jobs, find out how they got different jobs. You will hear the craziest stories you ever heard in your entire life. My first hotel job I was interviewing, I went to a hotel program, but I was in Boston. It's a busy city. Even though it's a booming city, it was not easy to get a job. There's like 30 hotels. I applied at all of them, got interviews at like 7. The The reason I got the job I got, besides the fact that the guy and I hit it off, is his last question to me was, he saw I was from New Jersey, and he said, "Are you a Yankees?" And I said, "No, I really don't follow baseball. My dad, really didn't enjoy it. I really don't follow. I don't really have an allegiance." He's like, "Good, because if you were, I wasn't gonna hire you." And I found out that the two owners of the hotel, diehard Red Sox fans. I mean, everyone has their allegiances. Like if I walked in here with a Michigan shirt, I definitely wouldn't get respect from you guys. But it's crazy things like that. That didn't get me the job, but that certainly could have prevented me from getting the job. If that doesn't make sense. So I just want to give you a quick talk. I have some gifts for you guys. I definitely can't throw them out. It's a little too far for that. But I just want to quickly talk about Bryant and Stratton. I'm not going anywhere, so if you guys have any questions about any stuff we talked about on the way out, feel free. Bryant and Stratton has been around for more than 150 years. It is a 2-year school. They are some 4-year programs, but it is, thank you, it is accredited, and what that means is that all the credits are transferable to other schools. So, for example, if you go for a 2-year program, and you decide to extend and go for 4 years, or go to a 4-year school, you can transfer those credits and continue. Although right now, I'm sure continuing going to school for a whole lot longer is probably the last thing on your mind. It was for me when I was in high school. But Bryant and Stratton has campuses in Eastlake. They have campuses in campus in Parma, campus downtown, and they're building one that's going to open in Akron in September next year. Right. It's really moving along. In fact, the nice thing about having a new campus is it's a new campus, and all the stuff, all the bells and whistles are going to be just going to look great. A couple good programs for you that we do offer. Actually, I'm going to switch up. I want to talk about one thing first about lifetime job placement, because we're talking about that, right? We're talking about jobs right now. Bryant Stratton, and this is by far, I've only been working with them now for about 5 months. By far the most impressive thing is they have lifetime job placement when you graduate, which, I don't know about you guys, but that is not very, I actually Googled that to see what other schools offer that, and there aren't a lot. There aren't a lot of schools that offer that. So that is a huge bonus. It's 90%, 90% job placement within 3 months. 90%. I mean, you look at some of the unemployment rates out there, they're staggering. So 90% unemployment, 90% placement is pretty impressive. They also do an internship program in your last semester of school, which, as you know, we talked about networking, is a great way for you to get a job. How many of you have had an internship in your life so far? Okay. Internship is just basically a job you get. Sometimes it's paid, sometimes it's not. And it's a great way for you guys to get into industries. Why would you want a job you wouldn't get paid at? Because you can get into industries a lot quicker if you can say, hey, look, I don't care, I just want the experience. You don't have to work a ton of hours, but it gives you a great opportunity to get exposed to something and find out if you really like it or not. I'm just handing out guys some informational cards. If you wouldn't mind filling these out for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you already know where you're going to school, feel free to write that on there as well. I'd like to know where some of the prospective students are going and what other schools they're looking at. We have 2 programs that we're offering. One is called June Start, and it's exactly like it sounds. Starts in June, right after 12, in the middle of June, and goes to the end of August. It's for 6 weeks. You're welcome. And it gives you an opportunity to get a head start on your college education and get done a whole semester early. Take 12 credits, and the bonus of it is then when you're out looking for work 6 months ahead of everyone else,